Being an entrepreneur means that on a daily basis, you have equally important critical activities that you need to perform. Remember that as an entrepreneur, you are the marketing person, you are the finance person, you are the technical person, and in some cases, you would have to travel to do presentations and pitch competitions to seek funding for your startup. Question is, all these activities are equally important. Therefore, how do you prioritize? The dilemma for every business owner is how to prioritize these activities so that at the end of the day, you have an optimal result that you'll be proud of. In this episode of PKBinspire, I'm going to share with you how to use the Eisenhower Matrix to prioritize, deprioritize, as well as delegate activities and tasks for your team as well as yourself, so that at the end of the day, you have some measurable outcomes that you'll be proud of. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning.
Being busy does not equate being productive. In fact, being productive actually means that you are able to plan your time and your activities such that at the end of the day, you are able to measure and quantify the impact of those activities for your business. The Eisenhower Matrix has 4 quadrants along 2 axes: importance and urgency. For every activity or task, ask yourself, is it important or not? Is it urgent or not? Based on your answer, you place the activity or task in the right quadrant. A quadrant determines what you should do with the task. So let's look at each of the 4 quadrants that form the Eisenhower Matrix. Quadrant number 1. Important and urgent. The action here is do it. If an activity is both important and urgent, then you've got to do it. You need to get it done. If you have a report that is pending, for example, in the next 24 or 48 hours, that is critical for your business, this activity will be placed in the important and urgent quadrant. It means that it has to be done and taken care of as soon as possible. Quadrant number 2, important but not urgent. The action here is schedule it. In the important but not urgent quadrant, you can plan and schedule those activities to be done at a later date. Quadrant number 3, urgent but not important. The action here is delegated. Many first-time entrepreneurs and startup founders find it hard to delegate tasks or activities to their team members. Activities within this quadrant that is urgent but not important need to be delegated to someone who can get the job done. This will free up time for you as a leader or as an entrepreneur to focus on the important and urgent activities that require some degree of urgency and time sensitivity. Quadrant number 4, not urgent and not important. The action here is don't do it. Learning to say no and turning down certain opportunities is an integral part of your journey to growth. In this quadrant, activities are not urgent and they are not important. Therefore, don't expend your precious time trying to carry out those activities. I can somewhat predict the question that is going through your mind. How do I differentiate or identify which tasks can be termed as urgent and which ones can be termed as important? Here's a simple rule of thumb that can help you. Urgent tasks typically have a clear deadline. For example, sending a draft to a client. Again, urgent tasks also require you to react in a timely fashion. Example, emails. Important tasks tend to be aligned with your long-term goals. Example would be exercising and writing code for your side project. So, very simple bifurcation between these 2 terms. Remember that urgent activities are time sensitive. They have clear deadlines and they require you to react in a timely fashion. Whereas important tasks or activities have implications for your long-term goals for your company or for yourself as a person. Therefore, whenever an activity comes up for you to get done, try to find out, is the activity important or is it urgent? And based on where you place these, you can employ the Eisenhower Matrix to help you decide how and when to perform these activities. Remember that determining the urgency and importance of an activity will always depend on your context and your ability to recognize what's truly urgent and truly important. So, if you're convinced now to deploy the Eisenhower Matrix for yourself and for your team, you don't need to go and create manually these quadrants that I've just shared with you. You can basically download an app that I personally use on a daily basis. The app is called Tick. So you can find it on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Just type Tick and you can get this app. The good thing about the Tick app is that it is not just a to-do list, but it gives you the Eisenhower Matrix to be able to use. So this is an example of how the matrix looks like. So I have my own personal to-do list categorized according to importance and urgency. So this is quite helpful. It comes in handy. You can have also things like the calendar is also embedded within the app. You have a calendar embedded within the app. So as I said, it's urgent activities are time sensitive. So you have calendar and time alarms and stuff like that. There's a checklist feature where you can have all your activities in the form of a checklist, and the Eisenhower Matrix format is also available. And for each activity, when you are able to complete the activity, you just click on it and then it takes it out of the Eisenhower Matrix. So that is the app that I use called Tick. You can check it out on the App Store or on the Play Store. It's very helpful. If you're watching my video for the first time, please do well to subscribe to the PKBinspire channel. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let's get the conversation going. Until then, as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with me.